Hello and welcome to the T2 Cricket Podcast. I'm Lachlan Kitchen. Is joined by Neel. Good to see you, Neelo.
As always, Kitch, and amazing to get our conversations going about this beautiful game of cricket.
Yeah, we do. We have an interesting conversation that's going to be coming up for you today. Cricketers always love to talk about the greatest of all time. It is impossible to compare eras. And many people often talk about what is the greatest Australian 11 of all time. Some people say what is the greatest Indian 11 of all time. But today, Neel, we are going to come up with the best Australian India combined test side in history.
Wow, this is going to take a lot of tasks because I can tell you one thing. We've got so many cricketers that could add to the list, and bringing in an 11 out of that, I think we'll have to probably create 3 teams.
Now, I think we might also mention the situation that there is different conditions in India and Australia. So we might get some of the details and then we'll look at what is going to be the best side for each condition. But run me through your Indian 11 all time.
All right, so my Indian 11 obviously has to start with a lot of number crunching, and to top the list has to be 2 of the greatest batters of all time, Sachin Tendulkar and Sunil Gavaskar.
Hang on. When did Sonny open the batting in Test cricket? Has he done that? Technically,
I would want him to open for my team, Kate. See, I'm the selector. I'm choosing my team.
He's not the one A team.
I am choosing him to open because, see, he's got grit, no helmets, still can go out and bat against the best in the business.
Okay, all right, I'll give it to you.
See, the numbers. For Sunny, beat in Australia, beat in India, he had an average of 50 plus playing against the Australians. And I reckon that itself quantifies as a massive stat to get into business right up at the top.
Okay, so 1 and 2, you got Sonny Gavaskar,
Sachin
Tendulkar at 2.
Number 3 is the man who troubled the Aussies in Chennai.
Don't remind me.
VVS Lakshman.
What a phenomenal player VVS. And you know what? He's one of those players, I think as an Australian, he's really hard to not like because he's so good off the field as well.
He's an incredible human being, you know. So I've met him like a couple of times.
Oh, have you?
And conversations with him are, oh my God, simple. He doesn't really throw air or attitude about, oh, I'm VVS Lakshman. Nothing. He'll sit down with you, have conversations. If you're having a cup of coffee, you ask him, coffee? He'll say, yeah, without sugar, please.
Who else is in the engine room? Who have you got at number 4?
Number 4, the wall. You need to have someone who can sit down, play the day through or days through without thinking that, oh, listen, I need to bring up my own half century.
He's actually my favourite Indian cricketer. There's something about Rahul Dravid, Mr. Nice Guy, that wall of defence. Yeah, I love him. Good choice at 4.
So number 4 is Rahul Dravid. Number 5, I know people would be wondering that, oh, how does he come in at number 5? But number 5 is Virat Kohli.
Virat. I was unsure with my list whether we could still pick current players, but when you look at the stats of Virat Kohli, very hard to go past number 5.
And plus the aggression that you require to play the Aussies, I reckon amongst all the players that we've got, Virat has to top the list.
Yeah. Okay. We're looking at, did you go for a number 6 or an all-rounder?
No, I went for a number 6 batter. And that is Cheteshwar Pujara. Technically, absolutely sound. His numbers talk for himself. 47 against the Aussies as far as playing in Australia is concerned, and playing in India, 41. But that average is not really stating the story of Cheteshwar Pujara's grit and determination to play against a strong Aussie side.
Yeah, played for a long time as well. Now, I'm more interested to find out just who you've picked as your wicket keeper in your test side.
Now this is where it all got tricky, Kitch. You know, initially I thought of the one and only Mahendra Singh Dhoni. But MS has a fantastic record as far as playing against the Aussies is concerned in India. On the spinning tracks, when the ball is turning, he's brilliant behind the stumps, fantastic, tactician. But when it comes to traveling abroad, playing in Australia, I wouldn't want to pick MS. And then comes in Rishabh Pant in that place.
Okay, good. Because I think when it comes to doing the combined 11, that the fact that there's no MS Dhoni might help the decision later on down the track. I'm guessing you maybe pick the all-rounder as one of your bowlers at number 8?
Well, yes, it is a star all-rounder. The man who won India their first ever World Cup, and that is Kapil Dev, coming in at number 8 with the bat, with the ball, leading the pack. I think Kapil Dev is my number 8.
Into the spinners, number 9. Who have we got?
2 spinners that India has produced and are the best as far as playing those long innings are concerned, Ravichandran Ashwin and Anil Kumble. Both of them bring in that variety. Ashwin, in fact, also elongates my batting, comes out and can score centuries at will. And Jumbo, I don't know if he's much of a spinner, but still can turn the ball.
Okay, Kumble. And number 11, have you got a third quick or another fast bowler?
No, I've got a fast bowler. I've got Jasprit Bumrah there.
I think that's very, very good. He's going to be very difficult. He's always difficult for the Australians to play. Your 12th man, who have you looked at?
12th man is a crowd favourite. He's a favourite when it comes to Australia. He is a favourite when it comes to batting, when it comes to bowling. Just for his sheer exuberance on the field, Harbhajan Singh is my 12th man.
Okay.
He'll clean his shoes when he comes.
Yeah, he's good. Okay, well, going through the Australian side that I've got, there's going to be a few names you may not have heard of.
Okay.
Because remember, Australian cricket goes back to the 1800s.
All right.
Number 1, no surprises, Matt the Bat, Matthew Hayden.
Has to be.
Began his test career in 1994, but really he was held out by the likes of Mark Taylor and Michael Slater throughout the 90s. Didn't really get a start full-time until 2001. Whilst his record is huge at 50.73, his record in that 01-06 period, 26 centuries, and he was able to put together an average of 57.24.
Right.
Impossible to go against Matt Hayden. Number 2, I was thinking about the former captain Mark Taylor.
Okay.
David Warner was a possibility.
Wow.
Now, David Warner's stats are fantastic, but he's not really good away from home. I actually went for a player you may not have heard of. He played Test cricket between 1899 and 1912.
Okay.
His name is Victor Trumper.
All right.
In that time, he played 48 tests, and given the conditions and how thin the bats were, he was able to average 39, which is huge.
Wow.
So Victor Trumper is 2. Number 3, I don't even think, with due respect, we need to discuss any more of the Don. Don Bradman, averaging 99.94. This is where it gets interesting, the middle order, the engine room for Australia. I've got it number 4 with Ricky Ponting.
Okay.
Average of 51.85, but during that period of our dominance, 01 to 06, he had an average of 71.06 during those peak years. And he averaged 51.85, 41 centuries. Number 5, I haven't gone with Steve Smith. He was a candidate.
Right.
I've actually gone with Greg Chappell. Now, I know that name may not be popular to some Indian fans.
See, you're making a combined 11, he's not coming.
Yeah, well, Greg Chappell at number 5, 87 tests at 54. He scored that at 54 during 1970 to 84 against the great West Indies sides. Number 5, Greg Chappell.
Okay.
Number 6, I'm surprised I went against picking Alan Border.
Why would you do that? I mean, it's the Border Gavaskar Trophy, right? And you don't have Border in your team.
I went for Steve Waugh. I went for Steve Waugh over Alan Border, 51.06 and 10,927 test runs. That was my hardest decision.
The first man to reach 10,000 runs as far as Australia is concerned, Alan Border, and he's not a part of your squad.
Wicket keepers, I know, and from listening to a lot of Australian players, they often regard Ian Healy as our best ever wicket keeper, purely as a glovesman. But it's impossible to go past Gilly. 96 tests, averaging 47, changing the red ball game and the white ball game. And then it comes down to the bowlers, picking himself, Warney, the king. 708 test wickets, SK Warne. Number 9, I was thinking about Mitchell Johnson. Instead, I went for a fast bowler who played in the 1950s called Ray Linwall.
Okay.
He played 61 tests, averaging 23.
Wow.
Averaging 23.
23 is good.
228 wickets from the period of sort of the late 40s up until 1960. At number 10, possibly my favourite, DK Lilly. Nothing more Australian than the wide shirt, the gold chain, the moustache, the flick of the sweat from DK, 355 wickets. And number 11, Glenn McGrath. Even I was amazed to read his average was only 20.19.
See, McGrath has been consistent. And the thing is that because of his unglamorous style and the way he approached the game, I reckon he probably just gets a little subdued, like probably a bunch of Kiwis do.
The 12th man, I had to go with Alan Border. I actually thought Mark Waugh was probably the best all-round with spinning, medium pace bowling, opening, middle order, but AB had to be your 12th man. So we've established the Australian all-time 11. Neel, you've got your Indian 11.
I do.
Maybe let's go through position by position and we'll try and work out who would make a combined India-Australian 11. Starting with the openers, I think I'm going to put out there, we go with, given you've put Sachin as an opener, I'm going to say we should go with Hayden and Tendulkar as our opening bat.
I would rather put Sachin at number 4.
Okay.
I would rather open with Sunny Gavaskar.
Okay.
The grit that he had, the ability to go out and play those long innings. You need someone who has that stability up the order, the calmness of the mind. So I think Sunny and Matt would be a good combo.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
with that. So we're already penciling in Tendulkar at number 5.
Number 4.
Number 4. Okay. Very good. So therefore, at number 3, I'm going to put forward the Don Bradman. Okay.
Has to be.
Good. No objection there.
No.
Tendulkar at 4.
Perfect.
Then I'd put Ponting at 5. What do you think?
I would see Ponting is a great selection there, but then again, but I would want to try and flip in a VVS Lakshman / Virat Kohli at 5.
Ponting 51.85, all conditions.
Virat Kohli 53.36, all conditions. VVS Lakshman in Indian conditions. Again, depends on where we are playing.
That's the issue. You're playing it in India, and you're certainly going to be going with. Playing it in India, you're going to go with Virat. I didn't want to pick Virat because he was still playing.
Which is fair. But then, I mean, the numbers talk for it. The reputation talks for it. Plus, what also adds value is the sponsors. They come in if you bring in Virat Kohli. Come on.
Yeah, well, if it's... Well, I don't know if I want to go past Punter, but okay, we'll let you have this one. Kohli is at 5. Number 6.
No, we can bring in...
Okay, that makes all right.
Yeah.
Ponting at 6. Number 7, Gilchrist, any objections?
No
as our
objections.
wiki?
No, I mean, I was not sure about my own wicket keeper, MS and Pant, but I think Gilly takes a bit.
Okay, so then we look at the bowlers, and as we look at these, we might try and do them all at once as we fill them in. Sure. If we go with, I'm going to put it out there, 8, 9, 10, 11. Number 11, Glenn McGrath.
Done.
Okay, so we can lock that one in as the fast bowler. Now, it really depends on now where else you want to go. I'm going to say number 8, we put Kapil Dev.
Kapil Dev is a fantastic all-rounder, right? So it's always good. We haven't added any all-rounders in the team, so yeah.
Now, this is the contentious issue. Your 2 spinners. Where do we go? Because we've got Devon McGrath. If we're playing in Australia, I'm probably would lean towards. I'd probably lean towards Warne and Lilly. Yet if we're playing in India, then I'm probably looking to go in with Ravi Ashwin and Anil Kumble.
I think that's a great idea because Warnie in India does not make any sense.
Well, I mean, 97 he had half a shoulder.
I'll tell you something. Warnie in India has been taken for runs, has been literally thrashed around. His international records have been incredible, but when it comes to India, he did struggle. So Kumble and Ashwin in India, we are playing in Australia, then yeah, DK Lilly and Warnie it is.
Okay, so going through that final lineup, the all-time India-Australia 11, Matthew Hayden, Sonny Gavaskar 1 and 2, the Don Bradman at 3, Sachin, the Little Master at 4, Virat Kohli 5, Ricky Ponting at 6, we've got to Adam Gilchrist, your keeper, at 7, Kapil Dev at 8, how good is that? And then if it's Australia, we go with Warne, Lilly. If it's India, it's Ashwin and Kumble.
That's right.
And then finishing off with the always reliable Glenn McGrath.
I think that's a fantastic world-beating 11. What do you reckon?
Pretty good. Well, we've solved the issue that you asked for, the best India-Australian 11. Neil, thank you very much. Great to see you. I'm Neel and Kitch, and we look forward to you again on T2.